Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Rockland Roundtable podcast. I'm Beth Seflu, the County Strategic Communications Director.
And I'm Jenna Nazario, the Director of Economic Development, Tourism, and Film. And we are very excited to be here for another episode with a very special guest from Consumer Protection. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Kimberly Von Ron, the Director and Public Advocate for Rockland County's Consumer Protection Department.
We are so excited to have you today because I think one of the things, especially from the county executive side, and from the economic development side, we hear a lot about different ways people are feeling vulnerable. Our consumers are feeling vulnerable right now with marketing, with fraud, with different scams and things like that. So we thought, who better to ask but you?
Great.
So before we get to that, though, can you just give us a little, understanding of what consumer protection is and what you guys do?
Sure. The Consumer Protection Department licenses contractors throughout the county. So we have home improvement contractors, electricians, plumbers, HVAC, towers, precious metals licenses. We do a lot of work in our weights and measures unit where we calibrate the gas pumps and test the pumps and scales at jewelry stores to supermarkets.
I didn't know you did half of that. Did you?
Honestly, I actually was pretty impressed when I found out how much consumer did. Like the gas pump stuff was just like, what? And so there was so much that you did do. But I think what was more shocking to me was, when you think of consumer protection, you think of scams. And, before working for the county, I was a reporter, and that was probably the top story that we always did because people were getting scammed left and right because scammers are getting smarter and more strategic with how they manipulate people. And so no matter how many times we did a story about even a certain type of scam, people were always falling for it. We were always getting calls about it. It is so prevalent and common. Yeah. And so I think that's one of the things that I admired about you when you came into this role is that was something that you noticed as a gap and you started to try to pursue and help people with.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things I noticed, I said, this is the Consumer Protection Department. What do we do for outreach? How are we reaching out to our constituents to teach them how to protect themselves? And it was, like you said, it was a real gap in the department. So it was one of my goals, and it's one of the proudest things that I've launched in the department. I have two ladies that are doing the outreach initiatives now, and we have a whole host of ideas of different things that we want to do. One of the things we're going to be launching this year is an identity theft checklist guide. So, people will go to the police department and they'll report that, I saw this on my credit card. What do I do? And, you can take a report, but what do you do to actually regain your identity? How do you go through all those steps?
I don't even think I know.
I know, that's scary because you see it all the time. Like someone's identity is stolen every 3 seconds, I feel like.
I just recently got an email from some sort of data breach of something from a loan I had taken out years ago. And my data was compromised and then included my social security number. I was like, well, that's great.
Yeah, it's scary. So, there's a lot of steps that you need to do, and it could be very emotional during that time too. You don't even know what somebody may be doing outside of the country, manipulating your name, your social security number, your date of birth, and you can find yourself in some real financial hardship as a result of it. So that's one of the things that we're launching this year, which I'm really excited about.
That's great. Yeah, because again, I think you got the data breach email probably weeks, months after the data breach actually happened. So it's like you don't know until it's happened.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can you do to prevent it? How can you safeguard yourself to really say, okay, these are the things I need to look for. These are the things I need to be kind of mindful of if I see something suspicious or if I'm getting random phone calls or things like that. So it's so refreshing to hear that, you're really taking the initiative on that and helping people because I swear if I see another commercial where it's like your identity is being stolen as we speak, I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
So it is a scary thing, especially for populations that might be a little bit more vulnerable to scams and things like that.
And a lot of people think that it's just the elderly, it's the older population that's more susceptible, and the rest of us would never fall for a scam like that. We're too smart. We would never do that. But I'll tell you, how many times have you been on Instagram just scrolling through and you'll come across something that looks interesting like oh, these vitamins, a link on there, and it's like, oh, you're going to have the most beautiful hair, skin, nails. You're going to get restful sleep, but you're going to have so much energy. And you're like, wow, this is great. So you go and click on it.
No, that's all a lie. No, I'm kidding.
You've gone down that rabbit hole before. We all have. You know it. And so before you know it, you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this. You think that this is like the greatest thing. And then you put in your credit card information, your name, your home address so that it can be shipped to you. And before you know it, you're getting charges on your credit card that you were not aware of, and you didn't even get the product that that fountain of youth that you were hoping was going to come in the mail.
Yeah.
So one of the most important things is you have to check your credit card statements regularly. You have to check them every single month. I don't like looking at mine because I don't like looking at how much money I spent that month. But
I look at mine regularly because of how much money I spent.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
but you want to look for those little charges, even something like $2.99. You should be looking at it and be like, was this something that I really purchased? Because that could be a clue into whether or not somebody has hacked into your credit card information and maybe doing
Like a test purchase?
Yeah,
Oh,
they might
yeah.
be doing a test purchase, or they can be manipulating your identity somewhere else. The other most important thing to do, and it's free, a lot of people don't even know this, is you have to freeze your credit. So you can do that by going on any one of the credit agencies, right? So Experian, TransUnion, you can go on them and lock your credit. And then if you want to, let's say, buy a car and you want to take out a loan, you can unlock it, 24 hours, it's unlocked. You can do whatever you need to do, and then you relock it.
So what does that mean to lock your credit? What does that do for you?
Yeah, can you still use your credit card?
Yes, you can still use your credit card.
I don't know.
But you know what it will do is when you're at the store and they tell you, oh, you can get 20% off this purchase if you just open up this credit card today. It'll stop you from opening new credit cards.
Right, yes. Oh, God.
So there's a benefit.
Yeah, there is a benefit to it. But also, no one else can open a credit card or
Okay.
take out a loan or do anything else manipulating your credit without your knowledge.
Now you're making me think I should be freezing
I know. Is
my
that
credit.
something you should
Yes,
just do?
everyone
Like, you
should.
should just freeze your credit?
Everyone should freeze their credit. It's just like, do you lock your car and do you lock your home?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is your money and this is your identity.
And they can't, there's no way they can unlock it on their end, probably. Okay.
Right. So you would lock your credit, and then when you're ready to, take out a loan or open up a credit card that you've decided you would like to open up, you can unlock it and then you relock it once you're finished.
This is really, I'm learning a lot here.
Yeah.
What would you say is, do you guys get or see common scams, or was there like a really crazy scam that you guys have learned about here?
So we hear about scams all the time. And there's one that recently came around about people getting text messages that they had a traffic ticket that they didn't pay in probably like New York City or something like that. And, it has all the things like, it's a small amount of money. If you just click here and just pay this fine, your license won't be suspended or your registration won't be suspended and all these little things. But I'll tell you, every single scam has the same common thread. It's number one, it's going to prey on your emotions. It's going to make you think that you have no time. Either you're really excited about something because like this is a deal that's ending today, right? So you're not thinking really logically. You're like, let me just jump on this. Or they're making you emotionally charged because they're making you think like your license is going to be suspended if you don't resolve this right away. So there's some sort of emotion involved. The other part is they don't want to give you any time to think. So it has to be right away. There's no tomorrow. You have to do it right away. So you could be like being blackmailed. You get an email. If you don't resolve this right away, this bad thing's going to happen to you, like the grandparent scam. Or, there's a cruise. If you click here, you're going to get a free cruise to, Jamaica. And you're like, oh, let me click on this right away. I won this prize. So all of the scams have this common trend. And the third thing is there's always money involved. Even if it's a small amount of money, like, oh, you can get this free gift. You just have to pay for the shipping. A small, $9.99 for shipping, but you're going to get this, $1,000 gift. There's always a small portion that they want money because they want either your money or they want your identity. They want some personal identifying information about you.
That's so scary. I
Mhm.
hate that, like, because again, like when you play on someone's emotions like that, like
Yeah.
you're just immediately going to react without really thinking. And,
Right.
you said the grandparent scam. Is
Mhm.
that something that, happened a lot here in Rockland where people were saying, little Johnny's calling and he's
Mhm.
stuck in jail or something. So can you kind of just elaborate on some of like the specific scams that you've heard?
Yeah, the grandparent scam is something that happens, across the country. It's, they call, again, a vulnerable person, and they'll say, we have your grandson or your nephew in custody, and, you can pay bail to get him out, or he's going to see the judge right away. And so the person panics, it's a family member, it's a relative. And once again, it's preying on your emotions, right? You're not thinking clearly. You just want to help, your relative in a bad situation, and they want you to act right away. They're going to see the judge in a few minutes. Like you have to pay bail now. We'll take a credit card over the phone. And again, they want money. So no time to think, emotionally charged, and they want your money.
Yeah, and I think it's important to point out that now people can like ghost numbers.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
for example, I can make my number. If I call Kim, I can make my number look like any other number I want, whether
Mhm.
it's Walmart or the county or Jenna's number.
Mhm.
So there's the ability to do that online
Yeah.
and trick people that way too.
And AI is able to, manipulate people's voices too.
Oh yeah,
So
it's
it
true.
can sound like, your grandson's voice. So they do say you should come up with safe words in your family so that you know who's calling you. And the other thing is you have to screen your phone calls. There's no requirement to answer every single phone call that comes through. Sometimes our phones will say potential scam or spam. And, you should just let it go to voicemail. Like, see what it says.
Yeah.
And again, give yourself time. That's the problem, is if you answer it right away, you're under pressure, you're not thinking straight, and before you know it, you're the subject of a scam. So really do need to screen phone calls because our cell phone numbers are just spread everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what I signed up for recently, but after I did, I was getting all of a sudden all of these random calls from just random even area codes, but they were calling me like 5-6 times a day, and I wasn't answering obviously because I know it's probably a scam, but I was just like, where the heck did they get my number from?
I set something up on my phone. Don't ask me how I did it. Where if it's a number that's not in my phone, it immediately won't actually ring. It'll show me it's a missed call.
Right.
And it'll go to voicemail. And so then I know, like, okay, fine. If you need to leave me a message, then leave me a message. If it's
Right.
that important, I'll get back to you. But-
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset I have
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
What about gift cards? I've always heard there's so many like gift card scams and like, can you elaborate on that? Just because I feel like especially around the holidays or especially around like, birthdays and things like that, gift cards tend to be a little bit of a risk.
It's the same concept. I even heard of people saying that, the IRS will say they want you to pay, overdue, fees in gift cards. And people fall for it.
Wow.
They do.
Because
They
of
do.
that pressure and that making you emotionally charged. But yeah, gift cards are another scam, especially around the holidays because you're busy, you're not thinking, and you're just buying this or buying that. And before you know it, now you've bought a fake gift card. There's no money on it. And they've taken your money.
Honestly, there was one time I saw a gentleman at the store and he had a bunch of gift cards in his hand he was buying. And I asked him just to be sure that
Did you?
Yeah, I said, I just want to make sure you're buying this for somebody and it's not part of a scam because it's very common.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
important.
risky.
Yeah.
So what's the outreach? What's the new, how can people become more informed with your department? Are you going to be doing anything like public outreach or anything? Give us the game plan here.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to be signing up for some of the street fairs this year. So you're going to see us at a table, tabling the events. We have some handouts. We have a lot of information. You can also email or call the office to have a guest speaker come to any of your community groups. We're going to try to visit several of the libraries in Rockland County this year as well, so we can meet with the community groups that way too, and just spread the word and spread the awareness because you have to protect your identity, you have to protect your hard-earned money. The Federal Trade Commission has said that I think we're up to $10 billion
my
in
gosh.
lost money
That's
to
crazy.
scams.
Oh,
And
my
that's
God.
just what the Federal Trade Commission has
track.
reported.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
a lot
how
of
much-
people don't report it.
You don't even know. A lot of people
No.
are, you know, it could be on-
Embarrassed.
yeah, they're embarrassed, and that's another thing. A lot of people are embarrassed by it. And I'll tell you a funny story. Like, it was the beginning of the school year last year, and I have 3 kids, and I was coming across this skylight calendar. I don't know if you've heard of
I've
it.
seen those. Yes, I've
Yeah,
seen
so
them.
I was like, this is going to be great because it'll connect to my husband's phone, my phone, and it'll also be in the kitchen. So, you know, if there's a birthday party or a soccer event or something, we can just add it to the calendar so that we can keep our busy life, you know, all under control. And so I'm looking for this thing, and it's like $300, almost $400. I'm like, wow, this is kind of crazy. I don't know. So I keep looking online, and I eventually come across it on Costco.com. So I'm like, oh, perfect. Of course, Costco is going to have it at, like, you know, a deeper discount. So it's $69.99 on Costco. So I go on, I'm looking at the website. Everything looks totally legit. The same Costco logo. They want your membership info. Everything looks fine. I happen, just out of nowhere, I don't even know why I did it. I texted it to my friend who's also a mom. And I was like, look what I'm going to get. This skylight calendar. It's really cool. And she goes, Kim, did you look at the website? Did you look at the URL? And it was cosco.com. It was Costco.
Oh, wow.
So I almost got scammed myself by typing in, you know, my credit card information, thinking once again, it was a great deal. I was emotionally excited about getting this, you know, really great deal. And when I sent it to somebody else who wasn't as emotionally charged, they looked at it and they were able to see the red flag right away.
Wow.
So that's another useful tip, is that if you're getting an unsolicited phone call or you're coming across something that might be too good to be true, just like reaching out to a friend or a trusted family member and, you know, just show them like what you're looking at or like maybe a weird text that you've gotten, and they can often see the red flag much easier and quicker than you can.
I love that saying that you said, if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times.
That can apply to many things.
Absolutely.
But, you know, flash sales, I always see them. And,
Mhm.
you know, I'm always looking for deals, you know, with the kids or just anything with home stuff. And so you'll see the flash sales. And I remember someone telling me, if you really need it, put it in your cart.
Yeah.
Leave it for a couple of days and go back to it. And if it's still there and you really need it, then buy it. And
Right.
I can't tell you how much money I've saved just doing that, because I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I even like thought of that, you know? But the flash sale is what gets you. It's that promotion, like, oh my God, if I don't save 30% off now, like, why would I pay full price for this?
Right.
And yeah, it does. It just kind of makes you react like, I'm getting a deal on this. But the question really is, did I need it to begin with? You
Well,
know?
yes.
So now I'm
Most
starting.
of the time, no.
Exactly.
It's a
And so
want.
it's like, it's just, it's sucking you into like,
Yeah.
well, I wasn't even considering it, but now
Right.
you're giving me some, you know, allure of why I should have it. And
Right.
so I think the marketing behind a lot of these things
Yes.
is really what's scamming people as well. So have you seen that with like different types of marketing
Yes.
measures and ways people are getting sucked in?
Absolutely. As consumers, we're constantly being bombarded with advertising tactics, and they want you to buy this brand or buy that, no matter what store you go into, whether it's the grocery store or if you're online shopping, whatever it is, we are constantly being manipulated by advertising schemes. I even went on to AI the other day, and I said, take a bag of Doritos and turn it into a healthier looking packaging. And it went from that bright, shiny, red, classic Dorito bag to a more muted, unshiny bag with, you know, greens and tans and some browns in there. And then it was, you know, they had a corn cob on there, and it's basically saying like a great source of, you know, fiber and you know, different nutrients, and it's making you think that this is much healthier to eat than the bag of Doritos, and it'll say like same flavor, different packaging. So you're sitting there thinking that you're eating something healthy, and it's not. But advertising is something that we all have to be aware of and be more vigilant. You have to educate yourself. You know, flip over the bag and look at the ingredients. Don't just look at, you know, the cover,
And
right? Don't judge a book
assume
by its
you're
cover.
getting something healthier. And,
I
Yeah.
had recently bought lychee juice, and on the back of the, I love lychee juice, but I ordered it online because it's so hard to find in the stores.
I have a store for you. I'll tell you later.
Well, the back of the label said 10% juice.
Oh, yeah.
10% juice.
What else is in there?
That's exactly what I thought. I was
Right.
like, what else is in here that is only 10% juice?
Wow.
So, yeah.
This is the I was
We'll
talk
talk
about
for it.
that later. Yeah.
But you ate them anyway, right?
I mean, I'm not going to waste it, but yes, I'm just not going
But
to
at
buy
least
it
you
again.
know it's not healthy for
She
you.
lived
and
to
it's
see
not
another
just-
day, whatever you actually ingested. So that's good. But we really wanted to have this conversation because we do see a shift with social media, and like everything is just in your face right now, you know? And so it's so easy to just be attracted by something, to want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
You know, it does. It doesn't just play with your emotions. It play, like of, oh my God, I feel really happy, or oh my God, I'm really nervous, but also like, oh, if I get this, I'll be just as trendy as everybody else, you know? So like really kind of playing into every emotion that you have, that mental kind of, you know, load that comes with purchasing things.
Absolutely.
And that's why we really wanted to talk to you, because there is such a risk. Because if you do get scammed, it's not just, oh, I bought something that wasn't legit. It's, oh, someone could have stolen my identity.
Right.
So let's go back to that. Like, what does that actually mean? How hard is it to get your identity back? You know, and what are some of the other things that you guys are doing or that we can do to really prevent that from happening?
Yeah, it's not easy, and it's a step-by-step process. There's a lot of different things that you need to do to try to regain your identity. You have to go onto the credit unions and freeze your credit. You have to now look at each credit card and see if there's, you know, miscellaneous charges on there that you didn't approve. You have to go reach out to every credit card company and tell them, you know, you need a new card. There's been fraud on, you know, somebody purchased something. So you have to go through that process. And we all know those phone calls are not simple. You're sitting there for hours on hold, trying to get the right person to deal with each and every credit card. And then you need to file a police report. You also need to go to the Federal Trade Commission and file that formal report so that you can use that in the event you do find out later on, months or a year later, that somebody has purchased something using your identity. So that's something that you need to keep in your records. So we have a whole 10 step-by-step guide to help recover your identity. It's not simple, but if you follow it methodically and take your notes and do all the things that you need to do, you can recover from it. But it's not just as simple as, oh, let me just, you know, file a police report and close that credit card. There's a lot of other steps that you need to do, and it can be a long process.
Yeah, and that's why it's better to be proactive than reactive. It's the type of thing like Kim, you just said, you know, if you're not sure, ask somebody else, double check everything, you know, and just really take a step back, because the last thing you want is to have to go through that, because it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy.
And does that really prohibit you from being able to, I mean, if your identity has been stolen, your credit is compromised, doesn't that stop you from being able to actually kind of live to a certain extent?
Yeah, it can. It can be really crippling to people. And especially if they did end up taking like a good amount of money. We've had a lot of consumer complaints coming in, you know, from contractors who are frauding homeowners. And they're taking, you know, 10, 20, I think one was up to like $50,000.
Oh, God.
And the money is gone. And now it's their home too. You know, that's where the house was under renovation. They left the job and they took the money. And now, you know, you're living there. That's your home. That's, you know, it's really emotional at that point. And so when people put in complaints, you know, we work with those victims and we are very successful in recovering the money. I think it was like last year we recovered over $120,000 in refunds for Rockland County homeowners.
Wow.
So it's really remarkable. But again, it's knowing where to reach out and to not be embarrassed by it and to hide. It's to speak about it, because a lot of times when one, you can get help, but also you can protect somebody else from having that same thing happen to them, because then they're more aware of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be wrapping up soon. Is there anything else that you would want to say or leave us with? Maybe
Well,
any
I'm
final
going to say
thoughts?
that I'm never buying anything ever again. So my husband's going to love this conversation because you're about to save us a lot of money because you've scared me.
It is a bit
So-
intimidating, honestly.
Yeah. But it sounds like you're going to be out in the community. It sounds like you have an open door policy, So again, you're going to be out doing these community engagement opportunities to show consumers, show residents what options they have, but also they can call your department anytime,
Absolutely.
reach out. Okay.
Absolutely. We have, we just did our website. So come visit us on our website. We spent a lot of time on that. So now it's easier to navigate, and we have a whole page geared towards consumers. So how you can file a complaint with us, how you can reach out to us, you can come visit us. And we will also put out there the opportunity for anybody to reach out to us to do a public speaking engagement.
Yes, I was going to say that you
excellent.
do public events.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
so we've gone to a bunch this year of senior groups. They love having us, Rotary clubs, business associations. So we're definitely willing to come out and reach out to the public, but we're also going to be proactive about it. We are going to be at different street fairs and libraries and any opportunity that we can get to get the word out to help protect Rockland consumers, because again, we're so quick to click on things. We're on our phones all the time, click, 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 and before you know it, you've been hacked, you've been scammed. And these are things that people need to be much more vigilant about, because it is your identity and it's your money. And we lock our doors, we secure our homes, but we're so open about navigating different websites that are just going to hack into and take our most important thing, right? To hack into our bank accounts, to take our money. So we have to be much more vigilant. Back in the day, our phone number was out in the yellow pages, right? The big yellow phone book was out
yes,
there.
I remember.
And anybody could just call you.
Yeah.
We have to be more protective. Like our cell phone, it's with us all day. People are constantly trying to communicate with us, and we're so open about things. So we have to be much more vigilant about protecting our personal space.
Yeah. Whew, this was a great episode.
It was a great episode.
Man, very informative. We really can't thank you enough for coming on and talking to us about this. And I think a lot of people are going to be reaching out. I know I'm going to send you everything I ever want to buy and just approve it for me.
Okay.
Please. That would be really great. Thank
just
you.
said you
Ask
weren't
a
going to buy
friend.
anything.
Well, there might be a thing
That
or
was
two.
short-lived.
Okay, exactly. I'll make sure he doesn't listen to this episode. But yeah, no, thank you so much for joining us. We really
Yes,
do
Kim, thank
appreciate
you.
it. You are a wealth of knowledge, and we look forward to seeing how much you can help our consumers and our residents. So.
Absolutely.
And that is all for today.
That's it.
Thank you for
Thanks for
joining us
joining us.
for another episode of the Rockland Roundtable.